the most iconic cars in the industry, and the top car that you put together was Las Vegas, right?
Yes, at that time it was a challenge. I mean, I went through Dress to Kill, and there was always a challenge. If you're being the president from a car club like that, a high-profile car club like that, you'll be challenged, and you could lose your respect. I don't care how many years you have in the club. You're only as good a president as you were at that last meeting. So I always had to up my style, and I was into, I was into designing and color coordination and theming out cars. So, to keep my job and to keep the club going, and that's how I ran the club. And every car show that we used to promote or do back then, we had to go from the Shrine Auditorium to the sports arena, and we went on and on. But we always had to up the level or raise the bar on everything. And eventually I got a chance to do a car like Las Vegas, and to this day, I still, I travel all over the place, and people still ask me about that car. I mean, they were this high.
I mean, when you look at it right here, you see like
beautiful, man.
That's just immaculate, and it's a Lincoln. And instead of suicide doors, what would you call that style that just flips down like that so you can play craps on the table?
It's a when I look at that, that's a drop down door, so you can play craps right there. It had the dashboard was a 21 table.
And you switched it up a couple of times. You put a slot machine in there too, right?
Yeah, I mean, that same car was candy red, and then you graduate. It was beautiful when it was brand new. Then I went a shocking pink and called it Pink Floyd.
I remember that.
And then turned around because that color was just too, unless I drove it around at night. I went into the same theme as Las Vegas and went Hollywood with all the movie stars on film reels.
Joe, what does a paint job like that cost? What would that like on that car? What is that? What's like a price on that?
Back then, you're talking about a car that was 30. That car's 30 years old now.
Yeah.
$6 grand, $7 grand.
Wow.
Today it would be more like 20, right?
Yeah, today it would be more like 50, 60.
More than the cost of the actual car.
Yeah.
But ever since, I mean, lowriding's expensive.
Oh yeah.
It's just, and the shops are not the most dependable ones. I question myself, and I'm sure you do.
Oh, yeah.
Is it worth even building a car like that today?
Yeah.
Because you start ground up, and that's a 79 Lincoln Continental, which is 40-something years old now.
Yeah.
They're like bombs, actually.
Yeah.
They're old relics.
When you think about it, it's like a bomb now, 40 years old.
Yeah.
Right. Yo, so let me ask you something. So you guys got like a team that puts these cars together,
You have to go out there and you have to find the best painters and the best upholsterers if you're going to be, and you're going to have to spend that money. Back then, there were a lot of guys out in the valley that were great painters. They used to paint boats. They do sign painting and all that. And they could shoot candies, and they used to use the old lacquers, which you could see the paint was about this thick. It wasn't, but it looked like that from the pearl base to the lacquer. I mean, the candy lacquers. The tones today, the paints that we see, I know you're busting out with a different type of candy purple on a Cadillac, but I hate to tell you this, even my own paint jobs that I have now, if we look at them from 1 to 10, and the new paints today are a lot easier to use, the urethanes and everything that they come up with. But in the lacquer days, from 1 to 10, if they sprayed them right without streaks and clouding those candies, those were 10s. And they'd use dyes. Today's candy is the best candy you could see out there today. I hate to say it, but it's a 7.